Massirio.
I'm going to just say it with John. Mark Kaczynski, Mayor of Berlin.
Okay, so we'll give you a brief update on today's actions at our, what we're calling now the Hawthorne Fire. Our crews have been out with the state crews since about 9 a.m. here on site. We expect to operate for another few hours until bringing in another crew to replenish manpower. The plan tonight is, while most of the fire is contained and boxed in, they want to get up there, and I'll let DEP come up after and kind of explain their process a little bit more, but they plan on setting a few backfires to just control some of the vegetation that's left in there and take care of some of that fuel. Throughout the day, we've had a presence in the neighborhoods behind us. There's been no hazards to the houses. We've been keeping a vigilant watch on those areas. We don't expect, evacuations in the future. At this time, we're going to continue to try to handle it with the resources we have available. And we just found out that we have some help coming in the form of some air support from Maine. That's, a brief overview of today's operation, where we're going to go tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll get out, reassess. Obviously, we'll schedule another time to set you guys up out here and get you some more info. But that's my end. I'll pass it to the mayor and then let you get some technical questions from DEP here.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for all your work. We had a fairly quick response time last night when the fire was first reported. So our volunteer fire departments were out here very quickly. DEEP was out here very quickly too. So we certainly appreciate all the help and the equipment that has arrived today. We know there's more coming, and we just want to contain this and end it before it gets anywhere. It's now in a very rough terrain area. It's not near any homes, so there's no one at risk at the moment. So we're happy for that, and the faster we can accomplish the mission of extinguishing this fire with all our help, with our state and local partners, the better. So thank you all.
Thanks, Mayor and Chief, to you and your amazing crew out here starting, last night, severe. We've got it contained right now, thanks to your amazing work, 80 or 90 acres. It's really tough. It is rocky, steep terrain. That's why we're authorizing the National Guard to get the Chinook helicopters, the Black Hawk helicopters. Chief mentioned Maine, thankfully, is bringing down others so they can dump water on this, do everything they can to cut in the periphery to limit any expansion of this fire. Thankfully, no homes at risk at this point, but you feel the breeze is coming up right now. And I think that's what the chief has got his eye on. You've heard the phrase spread like wildfire. It's not going to happen in Berlin. These guys aren't going to let it happen. It's just incredible to me that 2 months ago I was down in the Naugatuck Valley, and we're still digging out from incredibly severe flooding. And look where we are today. You see the effects of drought. It's impacting other smaller wildfires around the state and around this region. But thanks to your crew, we're getting this taken care of. Katie?
Katie Dykes, the commissioner at Connecticut DEEP, and I'll just add we're really appreciative of all the coordination with the town, and DEEP is supporting response to fires. We have about a half dozen or so around the state. Obviously, the extreme weather conditions, dry conditions, the leaves on the ground are contributing to higher fire risk. And so this is the largest of the fires that we're working on. Given the terrain, as the governor said, and expected increase in wind speeds tomorrow, is why we're pleased to have this additional support in coordination with the National Guard and with Maine, bringing in air support. It's an unusual step for us, but that's just reflective of the terrain that we're dealing with and trying to get ahead of this as we anticipate it could expand with the wind. So we're pleased to be able to lean in and provide this proactive support in coordination with the municipality here, as well as the other municipalities that we're working with around the state. And we just urge folks, we're not anticipating any rain in the near future, so continue to exercise a lot of caution and fire safety around around, avoiding campfires and unnecessary burning and those sorts of things that could contribute to unexpected situations like this over the next couple of days and weeks. Thank you. And we'll see if there's any questions.
Any idea how this started at this point?
No, at this time, the area that the fire started in. So the area the fire started in was pretty remote behind us, high up into the cliffside. So we haven't been able to access that area to really assess what happened.
Chief, we're actually getting some reports into our newsroom that there may have been a UTV accident near the site of the fire.
So yes, I'll confirm that we did have an accident not too long ago. It's actually pretty fresh news, so we're working with the crews that are down the road here. We'll get some more info on that, but at this time I'm not going to speak to that as we don't really know the details.
Has anyone been hurt though?
I do hear that there were injuries. To the extent of the injuries, we're not sure at this time.
Were there firefighters involved or rescue personnel?
Yeah, we heard that it involved a UTV, fire UTV.
From what department?
I believe Weathersfield.
Has the fire spread past the 25 acres or since?
Yeah, so it did grow. As stated, it's probably around 80, 90 acres now. Once the fire crews get into that burn tonight, we'll probably see that number grow, but for the better.
When do you expect the aerial support to come in?
I heard.
Can we talk about that or
Bill,
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Turner. I'm the State Emergency Management Director here in Connecticut. Through an interagency compact with the northeastern states, we were able to secure a forestry unit from the state of Maine that can be here by 9 a.m. tomorrow. So we're working through finalizing that, as well as activating the Connecticut National Guard for their aerial assets with a Chinook and a Black Hawk with a bucket that'll be able to dump water on. That we're hoping to have them spun up by Thursday morning, if not sooner.
Will the main unit also be aerial and dumping water on the fire?
That's correct. Yep, it'll have a capability to dump water onto the fire. Yep.
Can you talk about? I understand this is a state park behind us. Has state parks implemented any burn bans or other restrictions going on right now?
Yeah, hello, folks. Mason Trumbull, Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. At this point in time, we don't have any open campgrounds, so there are no campfires happening in state parks at this point in time. We have closed Lamentation Mountain State Park. It is public space, and we're instructing folks on our website to not go there. So at this point in time, we just encourage fire caution, as the commissioner said. This is not a good time to be burning brush in your yard. It's not a good time to be having a backyard campfire, fireworks, any of those fire safety. Please be very careful with any type of fire outdoors at this time. It's not a good time to do it.
Are you anticipating, we heard Thursday you're bringing in fire? How long do you anticipate this to go? If you're saying on Thursday, is this a week-long event? Not that you can see to a crystal ball. What's your best guess?
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Trask. I'm the Forest Protection Supervisor. We currently do not have a timeline for an end period. Unfortunately, what we have found with several other fires in the area, we think they're out and controlled, but unfortunately they're burning deep and reigniting due to leaf drop. So again, unfortunately this time we have no time frame.
And for the rest of the state, you mentioned it's difficult across the state. Is this taxing resources as we had the fire burn-in, there's other fires?
Our resources are handling it accordingly with all deep staff and our CFC division that's able to work in state. We're also bringing in other resources from other states to help out. So we are accomplishing our goals.
I'll just note, CFC stands for the Connecticut Interstate Fire Crew, and we're part of a regional compact where we provide assistance to other states. We work together with volunteers here in Connecticut, train them along with deep staff to help other states when they're tackling wildfires. And now we're able to count on that mutual aid, and it's a really important program, and this shows why.
Unfortunately, how many firefighters are on the mountain? Some of the problem about personnel out there?
Our staffing today is about 40 firefighters that are working. Our command staff here, which probably is up around another 15, I'd say. We had 5 UTVs and 2 state pump trucks working out there.
Is there a way to put a percentage on it in terms of how contained?
Yeah, we're going to say there's no percentage at this point.
Chief, can I ask you to send a message to residents? I know you mentioned homes aren't at risk, but hearing that the acreage has expanded like a lot.
Yeah, so, speaking to that, a normal process during these types of incidents is just to contain the fire. So while it looks like the crews are just, walking around the edges, really what they're doing is they're helping that fire burn itself out in the center and not letting it expand anymore. Having the burns tonight will increase the chances of that happening faster. It'll get rid of that vegetation faster. So hopefully, with that fuel gone, we'll be able to mitigate this and end this a lot sooner.
How dangerous is this to fight? We already heard about the UTV accident.
So, yeah, as I've said before, we're not really doing nighttime operations on the side of the cliff. It's all from the flat areas and where we can easily access. There's a lot of trip, fall hazards up there, loose rock, prime territory for twisted ankles and broken bones. So we're just erring on the side of caution with that and keeping everybody in safe areas.
Is there any historical perspective for this? When was the last time you saw a fire of this size?
We do, Mason Trumbull here. We do have brush fires that occur every single year, every spring and every fall within Connecticut. This is a large one. We have had fires larger in the past 5 years. I will say this, because of the terrain, the unique part about this fire is that we are bringing in helicopter support, which is relatively unique. And the reason for that is because of the steep terrain.
Governor, can we ask you about the 911 outage today?
Yeah, Frontier had an outage that impacted many of our communities in terms of 911 service. We got an alert out immediately, text 911. My understanding is at this point, 911 is back and operating.
So this was not any kind of a cyber invasion or.
I don't believe so.
I can speak to that too.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon again. So as the governor mentioned, as far as we can tell, it was an issue with Frontier equipment that was isolated here to Connecticut with their selective routers. So there was never actually an issue with the statewide 911 system or infrastructure. It was the phone lines that feed that system through Frontier. So as far as we can tell, everything's coming back fully online now, but we do understand that there was some issues earlier with people being able to get through to 911. As a backup, we always encourage people to know their local municipal 10-digit phone number. Sometimes those will still work if there's an outage, as well as the ability that we do have a statewide text to 911. The slogan there is call if you can, text if you can't. So if you can't get through, it's always good to try to text or maybe try a different method of communication, such as a different cell phone or a landline.
So Bill, obviously, a few months ago we had a snafu with the 911 system. Different issue, but does this maybe speak to the fragility of the 911 system? Is there enough redundancy?
Yeah, I think today demonstrated that there is the redundancy in place, and that while it was not ideal, and there was probably some moments where people were frustrated that they couldn't get through, it's never a good day when you have to call 911, but there are backups and other ways and workarounds for people to continue to be able to get through when those primary methods go down. So. Yeah.
I think that's it.
All right. Thank you all for your time.
All right. Keep going, Bill.